Just like American writer Meg Whitley said, real social change comes from the ageless process of people thinking together in conversation. You're welcome to another episode of The Conversation on Kaftan Television. My name is Victoria Eni. On the show today, we'll be dissecting the issue of youth restiveness. With insurgency, religious, communal and political violence becoming more frequent in the nation, a near breakdown of law and order could be said to be on the horizon. Stay tuned, because when we return, we'll be taking a look at the best course of action to discourage youth restiveness in our society. We'll be right back.
An act that is pertinent to the youth. They use this act as an avenue to agitate, to drive home their demands. And they do it in such a violent manner, which can incur some degrees of lawlessness in the society. That is anarchy.
People are just tired of what has been happening, because we just feel, a lot of people be like, okay, the youth, we're not standing up for anything, we're not getting involved in anything, and then now we're actually taking a stand, because there's so many things that are happening in the country that are they've been happening for years, and they're going to keep happening if we don't take a stand against it now.
Negligence and at the same time ignorance. You know, when the youth, being a youth, you still have this passion, you still have this flair, you still have this, eagerness in you to create an impact in the society. And when that urge is not given an avenue to thrive, it makes the youth to go on their own way, to deviate from a conventional way of driving home their demands to taking up arms, trying to get the attention of the government towards their demands.
Number one thing is to listen to what their needs are and try to address those needs without being selfish about it. Because, for example, the Niger Delta case now, people are rising up because there's oil in their land. The oil is being taken. What is it? What is their living situation? People are not having drinking water, which should be a basic need for every Nigerian. So when people don't have the basic amenities that they have, they are going to revolt, obviously, and then it might escalate. It can start from a small level, and then it becomes just a grand issue where you cannot curb it, you cannot find a solution to it at that moment. So I think you should listen to the needs of the people, listen to what the youth are trying to say, and find a solution to the problem without being selfish.
Government should rise up to their responsibilities. There are some areas now in Nigeria where you go, you cannot see electricity. There are some places you go, they don't even know what is pipe-borne water in this country. So government, what we need in Nigeria is good governance. If there is good governance, I think all those things will be minimized. My advice for the youth is that it's not everything that happens to them that should make them take arms against government. And those of them who are, because majority of the people leading all these youth groups now, they are graduates. They have read so wide. They must have heard about Mahatma Gandhi. They must have heard about Martin Luther King Jr. All of those people, they never take arms against government. Rather, they embarked on peaceful demonstration. Anybody who wants to ventilate his or her grievances, even when government is marching you down, you want to ventilate your grievances, do it in a civilized way.
Welcome back. Here with me to dissect the issue of youth restiveness is President of the Foundation for Peace and Non-Violence in Nigeria, Mr. Onengia Erekosima. Hope I pronounced it correctly, sir.
Very right.
Okay, sir. Please, I would like to know what you understand by youth restiveness.
Well, I think it's simple. When there is no focus on what the youth are actually doing, when there is nothing to really fall back on, and there's no hope for their tomorrow, then that restiveness thing begins to come in.
Do you think this thing is it really prompted by the government, or they just decide on their own to be against law and orders?
I think I will just put it straight. It's nature. There are certain things that nature brings when there are vacuums. Like, let me say for Nigeria now, we're at a point when we should change with the direction of where the nature is taking us to. So certain things happen not because of the leaders or the youth or the elders, but because there must be a change. I'll give you an instance. Let me come in from the Niger Delta. I'm from Niger Delta. When we started this militancy thing, it was like, what's really happening? You know? And along the line, I was talking to Nigeria. I said, look, this thing is a generational change. Then Nigeria started rebranding. I said, no, it's not rebranding. You cannot rebrand something that is nature. That has to change. The people have to change. And you cannot force the people to change. See, that's one very important point we must take. You cannot force a people to change. The people have to be willing to change when they see the need for the change.
Judging from the Niger Delta where you're from, at some point they surrender to amnesty.
Yeah.
But yet they are still protesting. They see that symptoms of restiveness in the youth in that part of the region.
Let me. That's why I say Nigeria is at a point where it should change by nature. There is nothing again in the Niger Delta called militancy. What's happening in the Niger Delta right now is happening everywhere in Nigeria. Kidnapping, cultism, killing. These are the things happening everywhere in Nigeria. When the Niger Delta militancy scene started, it started in the Niger Delta militancy. And the whole world was like, how do you even live? How do you survive in the Niger Delta with all of this militancy thing? I then came up. I have never been a militant. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I have never raped a woman. I have to tell you those things because let me tell you why I have to mention those things. When you do those things with those boys you call militant that are supposed to be doing those things, you can't change them. Exactly. So I am quoting it because I, by the grace of God, was used to bring peace to Niger Delta. I took amnesty to Yaradua. When I was doing that, the whole world was like, oh, this will never happen. I was Asari Dokubo's spokesperson. I reconciled Ateke Tom, Soboma George, Farah Dagogo, Boylov. I'm calling their names because they are alive. Okay. I went to all the creeks in the Niger Delta to reconcile all the warring groups. And the whole world was like, how do you survive in the Niger Delta? I told them, look, this thing is a generational change. That was when Nigeria now brought up good people, good nation. I said, no. Today, I don't even know where it is. The good people we're talking about in Nigeria. So I am saying it is a nation that has naturally bringing things together. So every part of Nigeria experiences what is happening in the Niger Delta.
Okay, despite all you have done for your region, bringing the amnesty to the president,
yes.
Why is it that your people haven't changed?
It's not about...
Or is it hereditary? Since you're saying it's nature and it's being passed down. Okay.
I went to Lagos. You know OPC? Go find out. I went to Lagos when they arrested Asari, and the whole world was like, Lagos came out and held, OPC came out and held Lagos hostage. So I went to Lagos. They called me, OPC called me, and I went to Lagos. Since after I met with OPC in Lagos, to 2016, just check out, they have never come out again on the streets. OPC was founded under a non-violent foundation. But somehow, they felt they have to do those things like holding hostages to some demands. But since I met them, they have changed. I went to Jos. Before 2010 or so, there are no December that are celebrated in Jos without a lot of killings. The year I went to Jos, throughout that year, there was no one incident of violence. Yeah. The people don't know certain things, and we must tell them.
Certain things like what?
We must not use violence to solve the situation we are in.
But if the government is not listening to you, there's definitely the need for violence.
That's what I'm telling you. See, they said there are certain things the government would not give you. You must demand for it.
The government, them demanding for it means they have to involve in the violent way, because
that's what I'm telling you.
We don't
the
do
violent
things,
way.
Even the Bible says the kingdom of God suffer violence.
We are discussing that part of it. Let me tell you what the Bible says on that side. He said, since the day of John the Baptist, before John the Baptist, there was no grace. There was no grace. So before John the Baptist, It was violent, but this is the days of grace. So let us not bring that violence to this day. The Bible did not say violent for this day. The Bible quoted the past. It says, since the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom suffered violence. We are suffering violence because we have not used non-violence. So we misquote God's principle. God is saying we don't need the era of violence again. I want you to get me clearly. That is if you want to quote the scripture. So I am saying non-violent approach is what will take Nigeria to the next stage.
But don't you think these youths are doing all this just to get the attention of the government?
Let me tell you something. They said, let me quote your Bible again, that the old men should dream dreams and the young men should prophesy. Dreams is about development. The young men are misplaced. See, we are telling the young men the wrong things they should not do. We should allow our elders, I am saying this because where we are now, our elders, our leaders must realize that they are not dreaming.
Exactly.
Because if they are dreaming, the young men would not want to dream their own dream. The elders have gone all over the world. They saw development. They have seen how lives are. They should know by now that violence does not help. Until we tell our young men the truth, they will continue to use violence. Let me give you an instance. Some few weeks I went to my place, and all the small militant leaders I know, it's a shame, all the small militant leaders I know are now the chiefs in our communities. We don't have men. Because they were the ones that were able to talk.
But wasn't that part of the amnesty procedure where they have to bring those people into power?
No, let me tell you, because it was not. The amnesty procedure was to protect the people.
Are they really protecting the people?
Now,
have they been protected? Because we still hear stories of them being violated in one part or the other.
Let me tell you, that's why it's coming to Nigeria. When I started, I told them, generational change. And I told them, over my dead body, after Yar'Adua granted the amnesty, I'm still saying it now, I'm on television. I said, over my dead body, my name is Onengia Erekosima. Militancy cannot return to the Niger Delta. Because by God's grace, I uprooted it from the root. I went to the cost. I went to that thing that was causing militancy in the Niger Delta, and it has been uprooted. I told them militancy would never return. But if you don't treat this amnesty properly, cultism will increase.
Exactly.
Today we have cultism. And it's not just Niger Delta, all over Nigeria. So what is God saying to us? We must address the issue of Nigeria. If we keep addressing Niger Delta, it will come back. If we keep addressing Niger Delta, it will come back. But I am saying the world will learn from where we're going to. From Niger Delta, peace will come to Nigeria. The world will learn how to get peace.
Okay, you are saying that we addressing them, they still have tendencies of coming back.
They are not coming back. Militancy will not come back.
Oh, okay.
I have addressed the issue of militancy.
What is truly responsible for all this dissatisfaction that the youths are exhibiting?
The government, the leaders are not yet sorry. That's what is responsible.
Despite the fact that it's bringing low productivity to the country.
They are not sorry. Let me tell you, they benefit from every crime we commit.
Please, I want to know, like, what kind of benefits do they have?
Now let me tell you,
in the lives of
people. The more we do those things we do, we get into cultism, we kidnap people. The more security votes are given to them, and they are enjoying the security votes. Why must we allow people who enjoy the life, the blood of people, in getting money? So the youth must understand that the more we get into these crimes, the more the leaders that have been there that don't want our change, don't want good for the next generation, will continue to benefit because they will continue to enjoy security vote in this country. Those that are enjoying security vote don't want the youth to understand that non-violence is the way. Those that are enjoying security vote don't want the world to understand that they don't need to buy weapons to fight their own people. There is a saying, any nation that continues to buy weapons of mass destruction is heading towards a spiritual doom. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, our power, our churches and our mosques does not have the power they need to have again.
But these things, okay, them buying weapons,
yes,
ammunitions for the youth, they don't force them to take these things. It's willingly, they don't force the youth. No, you can't blame it all on the government.
What I'm saying is, by the time the government buy weapons to stop the youth, they destroy the spiritual nature of the nation. Spiritually, we are dumb. What happens when we don't have the fear of God? These things, kidnapping, hostage takings will continue. That's what I'm saying. The government must be sorry. What Yar'Adua do, let me tell you, was strength. The government must show strength until Nigeria, Africa takes the heart of Yar'Adua. We cannot change the heart of Yar'Adua. Yar'Adua stood up and accepted forgiveness. Until this government is sorry about the illegal weapons that are in this country, we cannot go anywhere.
Are there other regions in the country where we have things, where we have youths being restive in any other way, apart from the ones who have been seeing the southeastern parts where there's kidnapping, killings, and the other one? Then in the northern part, there are bombings and all the other things. But in other parts of the country, we haven't seen things like that.
You don't know. Let me tell you. Okay. By the grace of God, with my position, I get calls from everywhere. I know how many people have called me to say, my friend, come, let's do this thing by force. Let's get this, that. The Yorubas, let me tell you now. The Yorubas, I'm just giving you as an example, are waiting for the reasons they will give to the world why they have to go their way.
Okay, so you are trying to say now the Yorubas want to leave the country, or they want to be they want to be a country of their own, or what?
Long
what
ago, they want to leave Nigeria.
Okay, so where and what's the reason?
Whatever, I am telling you, they are tired of this thing called Nigeria. But you're not seeing them shout it now. They will support the Niger Delta if it comes up. They will support Biafra if it comes up. They are trying to put up people.
Why didn't they support the Biafra when it came up?
Now let me tell you. See, there is this thing about be an scapegoat that they are looking at. What do we use so that the world will justify us? We cannot start this thing. So what do we use? I'll just give you an instance. There is a problem in this land, but at the same time, we have a better opportunity and advantage to change. What's the better opportunity and advantage to change? I can tell you, whatever is happening in the Niger Delta is happening everywhere now in Nigeria. That should bring us together. Your Bible also says, where sin abides, the grace of God abides even more. Until we realize that now. Right now, we have sin everywhere. So how do we bring in the grace of God? So security matters are not things you just see on social media and on television. I have been asking, I've been writing to the presidents, I've written to those in authority. Say, please, there is a way out. We don't need to kill anybody in this country.
So have you gotten any positive response from all the writers you have done?
Nobody. I keep praying. They say the heart of the king is in the hand of God. So I'm praying. I am silent. I don't talk. But why I'm talking now is because those who claim to be doing certain things are not talking. Today, people will tell you from everywhere, I know about amnesty. I know about this. They don't even know nothing. When I started this thing, they celebrate now, called amnesty. The whole world thought it was not going to work. When they saw the light, everybody's coming out to say they know about amnesty. They don't know nothing. Amnesty came because of 3 persons. Ateketom, Somoma George, and Father Dagogo was declared wanted in Rivers State by the government of Rivers State then. So when I met the governor, I said, look, forgive these people, let's move on. The governor said he will not forgive. Amechi, I'll call names, say, they are there, they are alive, ask them. I met Governor Amechi. Amechi said he will not forgive. That the people they killed, if it were my people, will I be asking him for forgiveness? And I told him Saul was Saul. God made him, he became Paul. That we can save some. He said, if I want to tell him that I know God more than him, that the Senate president met him, he refused. Elders met him, he refused. Is it me he was going to listen to? That is why I now moved to Yar'Adua. When I went to Yar'Adua and they saw that I was having a listening ear, the government set up their own amnesty program for the state. An amnesty program that by the time the boys come out, they look at those who are not their boys. They take them and kill them. Until Yar'Adua announced amnesty that covered the state amnesty that now brought this peace we're having. They never believed me. They never accepted it. So I am telling you now, I have been doing this peace thing for over 30 years. My children, everybody know what I do. I make sure my children know what I do.
Okay, sir, can you narrow all this down to unemployment? Because I believe that when people don't have things on their mind, or when people are not occupied, they tend to do things. The Bible says the idle mind is devil's workshop. They tend to do things that they don't want to do. So can you bring it down to unemployment? Can you say unemployment is the root of all this?
It's not. It's not.
Why?
Insecurity is the root of all this thing. when you're not sure of your tomorrow, when you're not certain about what is happening, like I told them, you cannot be talking about development in the Niger Delta. What the whole world was seeing, that Niger Delta was shouting for development, development. You're taking our oil, you are not developed, we are this. Meanwhile, you were killing the young people. I said, no, you cannot be killing our youth when we are talking about development. If you kill my brother today and tomorrow you bring development, who is going to stay in that development? We must reason these things as youth. If we get restive because we are not employed or because we think there is no tomorrow for us, and it comes tomorrow, are we going to be there to enjoy these things? So the government must first, not development, not jobs, must first look for peace. When we look for peace, let me tell you my fear. Where we are now in Nigeria, my fear is, one, there will not be space enough for investors that want to come to this country.
Why?
When there is peace. From the day the government will listen to me, I'm talking from experience. Go to Niger Delta and see those areas where the villages were lost, where there was a war. You will never believe there was any war there. The people have developed themselves. The day the government will listen to me, I give the government 1 year, there will not be enough space for investors in this country.
So you are saying unemployment and poverty is not the root of all this?
They are jara. They are not. They are not. Let me tell you why they are not.
Okay.
There is no youth in Nigeria now that cannot be creative, that cannot do something for himself.
No, sir, I will take exception to that, because
now,
there are a lot of people that are unemployable.
Must you be employed when you can employ people?
Yeah, but some people just want to lazy around.
Now, can I tell you something?
They just want to lazy around.
I have been a photographer all my life.
All right.
I am married with 5 children. My first daughter is doing a master's in UK. My other children are in university. I married at the age of 24. I am doing photography all my life. I employ people. Today, I employ people.
You are just one of the lots.
No.
You are just one of the lots.
Let me tell you why I said no.
Okay.
I have trained several youths who think they don't have future just on photography. And a lot of them are getting married today, doing a lot of things for themselves. It's our mindset. They should not deceive us that there is no job and we kill ourselves. There are jobs. But we are saying jobs will look more for us when there is peace. So let's not begin to push job first. Job will come and we will be looking for, we'll be selecting them. But we must have peace. What will it benefit you when you have a job but you can't sleep in the night? Armed robbers to come and rob you. Is that what you want as a youth? You go to work, you have to go back home, like today now in Port Harcourt. They sleep by 7. People just run back to the house to go and sleep because of all this kidnapping and cultist thing. Is it lack of job? It's not lack of job. You have job, but you must close early to go back home. A lot of places in the north, the same thing. So it's not job. Let's not be deceived by these things and sell our birthrights with porridge. What we need now is peace.
The youth selling their birthrights because they give themselves out to these political parties or political members as thugs. Do you think that it's, as I say, charity begins at home? Do you think it's the lack of orientation from parents that make them act in those ways?
The parents themselves are tired. I have told you, see, there are
But there are some parents that support their children no matter what they do.
Now, let me tell you, see, the more you do certain things, the more you lose as parents.
Okay.
I tell you. See, there are certain things that parents cannot do. There are certain things. And that's where we are. A generation, God have said several things will come to pass. And I told you, he said, where sin abides, the grace abides even more. There are certain things, they say this thing is done for God's glory. Nigeria is at where it is now for change. I pray we get hold of it.
Amen.
Stop killing our people. Nigeria is killing his strong men. A man that can carry a gun, kidnap, kill, is a strong man. If you convert the strength of that man, you'll be surprised what will happen. That's what I do.
How do you convert the strength of that man when they don't get the proper orientation?
You tell them the truth. Let me tell you. January 1st, 2008, Borokri police station in Port Harcourt was attacked by Ateke people. They killed policemen. Then went to presidential hotel where they have this in a laugh of 1,000 laugh, whatever.
Night of 1,000 laugh.
A lot of things happened on the 1st of January. People died. After killing policemen and they left, police people came back And we're killing people who were coming back from church out of anger. I am telling you, I have evidence of all of this, I'm telling you. Police people came, that they killed their policemen, and were shooting people on the street.
Did the government do anything about that?
Do we have a government?
But we have a government in Port Harcourt.
That's what I'm telling you now. Now, let me tell you what happened. It was that thing that led me into this amnesty. When that killing happened, a radio station called me, Redeem 93, and I condemned it on radio. Say, you can't be killing policemen. Because you kill policemen, you are like stripping the society naked. We will not have anywhere to go to. I condemned it. I said, whoever is doing it, it is wrong. I take a Tom headed from the clique. I keep calling them, say, you go ask them. I said, who is that man that has condemned what he did, that he wants to see me? I said, me too, I want to see you. With the impression we had about Ateke Tom, no normal human being would see him. But those impressions were given by those that wants to call a dog a bad name to kill the dog. When I went to Ateke Tom on the 3rd, I did this condemnation on the 1st. On the 3rd, I went to Ateke Tom. Ateke said, I cannot do that, I must go and refute it. I said, I will not. Because I know that I hear that most times, a lot of times, he does this program that encourages young men, gives them awards and all those things for competitions, football and so on. I said, you can't be doing this, and at the same time, people will be dying. He said, I did not know what the government did to him. That the government in December came to his town, Okoshiri. Okoshiri is not a creek. It's one of the biggest towns in Okrika. Killed people and did a lot of things, all in the name of trying to kill Ateke Tom or whatever excuse they have. And nobody heard about it. So he came out to react so that people will know that something got wrong. That's why he did this. I said, you must not do this again. And I told him about non-violence. He told me, he said, nobody has ever told me what you're telling me now. If anybody comes to me, they say, if you know kid, government will say you're not strong. If you don't do this, government will say you don't do that. So that's why I'm doing this. But because of you and what you said, I repent. That's how peace started in Niger Delta.
So are you saying that there are not enough bodies that enlighten the youth on what to do? Because from what we have seen so far, are they not knowledgeable enough to know what is right and what is wrong?
It is too late to enlighten the youth. Apart from telling them that what you're doing is putting more food on the hands of those greedy people that wants you to die early.
Don't you think they know this already? Because them going as thugs to kill people on behalf of these political members, they should know what is right or wrong.
Let me tell you, when I went to Jos, I went to Kaduna, and I was preaching non-violence. The young men that came out, they took me to where the Muslims are now, and they told me, say, see, this is this place. Muslims and Christians, we used to be here, but the Christians have moved to where the to a different place. That they never knew that this thing called non-violence can be practical in their region. They were so happy. So they don't know. But I am saying now that we have passed a stage where the youth can change this nation.
Youth getting to that level, I'm sure they know what they're doing, because as a child, you know your left from your right. You see a fire that is hot, you can't tell me that as a child, you can't put your hand into the fire. Even when someone tells you, put your hand into the fire.
Your Bible also said that you should smack the youth. We don't do that.
Sorry, sir, I need to cut you at this point because we have to go on a short break. All right, when we come back, we'll be talking more on youth restiveness. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the conversation. We're still talking about youth restiveness with the president of the Foundation for Peace and Non-Violence in Nigeria. It's still good to have you in the studio, sir. Sir, before we went on the break, we were talking about parents being actively involved in the upbringing of their children, which have now, it has, like, I don't know if the upbringing is not really proper, but these days, they don't exhibit the character that the parents of those days used to inculcate in the children of those days. I don't know how to put it, but you get what I mean, sir?
Yeah.
Where have they gone wrong? Where have parents gone wrong?
Well, the issue is very clear. When this whole thing started, like child's play, I will talk about the Boko Haram issue. This whole thing has started like child's play. We find out that parents have no control again over their children.
Why is that? Why is it that? But I know that back in the days, yes, parents can talk to their children and they listen. Why is it different?
Now let me give you an instance. When I was younger, I would be wondering what my father was doing when others were making money. Meanwhile, he has his house built in the village. But at my age, I don't have a house. So what would my children be wondering? So if you look at the gap of how our parents lived their life, that's why I'm saying the youth cannot understand. The elders must be sorry for what they are taking the youth through. You can't understand the peace I saw when I was young. I used to have a senior brother. There are no senior brothers now. What I'm saying is, if I see my elder brother coming, I will run as a youth. Then I'm much more seeing you with a girl. But all those things are no more there.
What really changed? What really changed?
What has changed?
What has changed?
What has changed is that we must change. I say it's nature. It's nature. We didn't have all this technology we have now, where you can bring the whole world in a second. I remember when we would go knocking at somebody's door to wait for a phone call from America the whole day. Sometimes the phone call will not go through. Now, these are the things that have changed. So what we learned with time, the youths are learning it automatically now.
So are you saying technology is the evil of the day?
It is not an evil. It's a plus. We must use it positively.
But why are we not using it positively?
Good, because the elders' dream has not laid a foundation. And that's why I'm saying they must be sorry. Amnesty for the Niger Delta was a foundation. That's why I say Yar'Adua was strong to say, I forgive. Until we come to a stage where we can let go, we will not be helping the youth. The youth have no reason, have no experience of any kind to build this nation or to build a family. I got married early because my mates were telling me you can't. And I felt I have to do something different. We keep doing the same thing every day. And I proved it that I could do something different. How many youths now can marry at 24? So things have changed naturally. We must follow the change. Our people must be happy to see change. We are scared of change.
What do you think is the reason why we are not following this change? Because
greed.
From your own words, this change is really good for the society.
I don't need to think about it to tell you it's greed. Okay. Greed. The parents don't want to leave names for their children. My name is Eric Kosima. You know the meaning? The meaning is don't nickname him. Don't give me a name that is not my own. Before my father died, he called me, he said, don't go for money. Don't go for power. Think of your name. Think of your name. Our parents don't have names now to give to their children. Some of us, as parents, our children will spit in our grave when they realize the evil we have done them. The evil of buying weapons to look for our people that are frustrated, that has become killers, that has become cultists, to kill them, when we can actually save them.
But sometimes these things are not the fault of the parents because they actually talk to their children. But these children decide to be on their own. I've seen situations where the mother has to beat the child, but the child refuses to go that direction.
I've told you the reason. Technology has increased.
But technology is for our good.
But we are not using it properly. How do we use technology properly? We must get a guide on the children. But that guide must come from the government. There must be a law. There must be a law. Amnesty was not just given. There was a law. If you go back to those things you used to do, you'll be punished. We must give a law that will guide us. Nigeria don't have a law that guides it. So until we get back to a law that guides the people, the children will never understand. It's not going to come from home. From home, yes, we thank God for some decent children. But we are saying the up must be sorry and bring up a law. And this law, I am saying, in less than 1 year, from the day the government will listen to me, I get scared of this country. Because sometimes I ask myself, if I die tomorrow, will there be salvation for this country? I don't know why I believe what I believe, but I know I have saved lives. And I know that with my effort in saving lives, I have an experience in saying that it will be 10 times easier to solve Nigerian problem than the way we solve the Niger Delta problem.
Talking about the Nigerian problem, what is really the cause of all this restiveness? There's Boko Haram in the northern part, there's kidnapping, there's so many things going on right now in the country. What is really responsible?
I might just be repeating myself.
Okay.
It's a generational change.
So there's no particular thing that you can pinpoint and say, okay, it is poverty, it's unemployment, it's insecurity, or what's really the problem?
The particular thing I can point at and tell you is that the system, the leaders, must just be sorry to begin to listen to the voice of non-violence and use a non-violent approach, then we will gain some.
So you are blaming it now on the leaders, that they should be more attentive.
We are part of the leaders because we have allowed them to be leaders without we choosing them. We must choose our leaders. That's what we should tell the young men. Not those who give us money to go and kill people, guns to go and kidnap people, guns to go and vote for them. Not those ones. But those ones are the ones leading us now.
You said we should choose our leaders.
Yes.
We saw cases during the last presidential election where they were snatching ballot boxes, where they were killing people. So me, in my right sense, you think I will go out and go and choose my leader when I know my life is at stake.
But these are the things the young men do.
But these are the youth perpetuating the evil.
Now, see, that's why sometimes I don't want to repeat the fault of the youth because they are not relevant now. The fault of the youth.
They are relevant because they are the ones we are talking about right now. They are the ones that are perpetrating all these acts. They are really relevant.
That's what they know. That's what the youth know. That's how they can come by. But I am now saying that when we put up a system, no youth can resist it. No youth can resist a system that will be binding on all of us.
What system is that?
Good. That's what I'm saying. Security issues sometimes are not just said in the public. The security of this country is easy to get, to achieve. Mm-hmm. But we have not gotten the right people who will implement to listen to us.
Okay, what are those things that you think are the security reasons or the security checks that can be implemented in the country?
One, I will tell you what is being implemented that is not right. Okay. Buy weapons into the north, they are not right. Saying that the police, the army don't have enough weapons, they are not right. Those are the evil that is with us. We must look at, like instance, go to a lot of mosques, a lot of churches. You see security men. So the Almighty God does not protect us anymore.
He does.
But why are our pastors and our big men carrying security if God protects them? So these are the things we must do. These are the things that are wrong. As a young person, I cannot see you. You're a pastor with all the security, and you're telling me to tie a bangle, God will protect me. It is not right. Until we begin, see, I'm telling you the truth. Until we begin to realize that it will not benefit us anything to get all that we want to get at the detriment of some few. We won't go anywhere. But at this time, we will go somewhere. I hate to tell anybody we won't go anywhere because we're going somewhere. I am happy for Nigeria. Cultism, killing, farmers this, all this crisis has brought us together. We don't even know. The whole of this country is start shouting that you must stop cultism. You must stop killing. Everybody shouted it. Why is it not bringing us together? It's a plus. If we use it positively. In one word.
Okay, so where has Nigeria gone wrong? Where have they used it negatively? What can Nigeria do?
What Nigeria can do is to listen and learn from the past. I keep going back to Niger Delta. I don't know why, but because it's my past. There was no contribution from the military or from the police or from the government for us to have peace in the Niger Delta. So they should know that the strength they are looking for to have peace is not relevant at this time. That's what they are doing wrong. So if we turn it back, but you know why it's difficult? I'll come back. The people benefiting this security vote will never want these things to stop. And unfortunately, most of the decisions they have to take for positive change in this country are in their hands. So that's where the unfortunate issue is coming. They don't want to let go. They don't want to forget the way they make money. And people are dying, they don't care.
Why would they care when the people that are dying are the youth, and the youth are the one helping them to kill those people?
That's why we're praying that we'll have a heart like Yaradua. We will have a heart like Yaradua. When we get a heart like Yaradua as a leader, then you will see what happened to this country.
Are you saying the present government does not have that kind of heart as the past Yaradua government?
I did not write to Yaradua as much as I have written to Jonathan or Buhari. I have written several letters to them. No reply. So I am sure that they are still in the dark, not understanding that God has to help them. They are trying to help themselves. It's very dangerous.
What can they do to come out of this dark place that you have put them right now?
They should get back to God. I'm not preaching. I'm talking about practically getting back to God. What is wrong? How can we solve them? We'll give them this situation.
Well, I believe that they have advisors, and those advisors tell them what to do. If those advisors don't tell them this is wrong and this is right, how would they know?
The advisors, that's why we're on television. If Mr. President is seeing me, I am saying advisors on buy weapons that destroys your own people are not good advice. I am telling you, use the non-violent approach, you will get the answer. I am sure this message could get to the president. That's why I'm happy that I'm here. Because I am just talking to you now, but I know how many millions of people will watch this program. I want to get to the president. Because those advisors are benefiting from the share of whatever comes from all the evil that is in the land. More security, Oga. More guns, Oga. More protection, Oga. These are not true. He doesn't need it for a country to move on. Because the foundation we are laying today will destroy us. We cannot lay a foundation by force because it will be taken by force. Most youth today believe that if you're not a militant, if you're not a kidnapper, if you're not a cultist, you can't make it. You can't be a
Talking
man.
about the youth, why is it that they use them more to perpetrate
They
all
don't
these things?
use the youth.
They use them.
Can I tell you?
Okay.
I don't. That's why I say I am trying not to put a blame game.
Okay.
If you don't use your head, somebody will use it. Every youth has a head. So why are you allowing people use you? Somebody gives you 10 naira for an election and won't talk
Okay,
till after 4 years.
okay, you're talking about the money aspect. It still boils down to poverty.
It's not poverty.
If they had enough money in their pockets, they won't go out and be doing this evil
Now,
acts
see,
just for peanuts.
You know why we're not getting this in right?
Okay.
We put the blame on the wrong place. It's not
But
poverty.
you just
It's
mentioned
poverty of
money.
It's poverty of the mind.
If they don't give them incentives, I'm not sure they will perpetrate those acts.
It's
I am
po-
100%
Okay,
sure they
it
will.
may
Okay,
be-
let me say 99%.
It
I
may
am
be I'm not
99%
getting.
sure.
It maybe I'm not getting what you're looking at when you say poverty. You're looking at physical money.
Of course, yes.
I am looking at your mindset. No matter how much I give you with all your money, if your mindset is not prepared, you won't have money.
But these youths don't think about the mental mindset. They
So,
don't even reason
why
in
are we
that
not
aspect.
talking about the
What
mindset?
they
Why are we
want
talking
is
about
the
money?
money. If there was enough money in the country, if there was enough money in circulation, I'm not sure they'll be able to do all these things because they are comfortable on their own. They don't even need to be bribed to do things that they know is wrong.
Now, can I tell you something? If you have enough money in this country, it will destroy us. We won't work.
How?
Good. See, there are certain things they say to whom much is given, much is
It's
required.
expected, yeah. Mhm.
When you say more money, you're not doing anything, you want money.
No. You can't.
listen,
You can't sit down
let
and
me
not
tell you
do
why I say
anything
you're
and
not doing
want
anything,
money.
you want money.
It's not the days of
Can I
Mala.
tell you why I say you're not doing anything, you want money? I am saying that as a youth, there is always something to do to get you money. You must tell yourself, I have to move on. What do I do?
Some people don't reason that way.
Let me
I
tell you.
short.
I know a lot of people who have met me. They say they want to do hairdressing, they want to do sewing, they want to do this. How much? 20,000, 10. And I go out of my way to thank them for wanting to do it, not coming to ask me to give them job. Our youths must begin to think that they must think of how to do jobs by themselves. How can somebody be paying you 50,000, 40,000 every month when you can start one small thing and employ people?
But you starting something small, it requires capital.
No, you learn. You have interest. Once you have interest and passion for that thing, it will create your capital. Let's not misplace things. I have not seen somebody who wants to do a thing with interest that does not get the capital to do it. But don't lose focus. Trials will come. These things may not be easy. But let's not go there because those kind of changes are what they use to deceive us. And it takes time. It takes time to change like that. I have talked about a change that will come. I told you that I'll give us 6 months. I'll give us amnesty you saw was 2 months. If we were given 6 months, those who did not believe at first, and a lot of people would have come on board. I am telling Nigeria, from the day Nigeria will listen to me, give me 1 year, there will be no space because the whole world want to come to this country.
Okay, sir, in your own words, what has occupied the minds of you that they don't think straight to know what is right or wrong?
Fear.
Okay.
Oh, is there tomorrow? Oh, what is happening? Why is there no job? Why is there so much insecurity? These are the things that are in the minds of the youth. Fear. And we must let them know that they must not be afraid.
Okay, sir, please, what are the practical steps government can take in curbing this challenge? Practical
steps. Unfortunately, I can't say it on television, but a non-violent approach. That's a practical step that the government can take, and this will come to an end.
Your final notes to the youth and the society at large.
My final note will be to tell the youth that you don't need violence. You must say no to violence, and you must use non-violent method. And that will save not just you, but this generation.
Thank you very much for coming. We're
You're
really
welcome.
grateful. All right. Also, in the words of Meg Whitley, be brave enough to start a conversation that matters. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Victoria Eni. Till I come your way again, stay tuned to Kaftan Television. This is The Conversation.